Hi everybody, I'm Kimmy. Welcome to STEAM Adventures. Today we'll picture the Lunar New Year with pictographs. What is the Lunar New Year, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. The Lunar New Year is a really great and very special celebration to a lot of people across the world. It is celebrated in one of the biggest countries in the world, and that is China. That's why you might also know it as the Chinese New Year. But did you know that other countries celebrate it too? You'll find people in Vietnam, Korea, and Mongolia who celebrate that holiday too. And for those who moved from those countries to the US, they celebrate it here. So that's why today we're going to talk about the Lunar New Year and all the wonderful things that happen during it. Now, the Lunar New Year is different than our New Year. I know we celebrated the 1st of January, but for those of us who celebrate the Lunar New Year, it's based on the phases of the moon instead of the sun. It takes 365 days for the Earth to revolve around the sun, but the lunar calendar is based on how many times the moon revolves around the Earth. So that's why the Lunar New Year this year is going to happen on February 12th. A lot of traditions for the Lunar New Year include giving special gifts like our red envelopes, otherwise known as leishi. These are meant to pass on good luck and good wishes to those who receive them. And inside is usually something special, a little bit of money as part of our good fortune. Other traditions include decorating everything in red and gold, for they represent good fortune and prosperity and happiness. And we also love to bring out our lion dancers. Our lion dancers come out during special festivities and parades, and they do really cool dances and acrobatics. And as part of our traditions, when you visit lion dancing, you can always give them a red envelope too, and that'll bring you even more good luck. Before we talk about pictographs today, I want to tell you about the story of the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac. Thousands and thousands of years ago in ancient China, Chinese gods decided to have a contest. This contest would allow the first 12 animals to cross the finish line to be honored with their own year, each Lunar New Year. The first animal to cross the race and win was the rat, followed by the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, the snake, the horse, the sheep, or sometimes we call it the goat, the monkey, the rooster, the dog, and finally because each animal of the Chinese zodiac gets their own year, every year is a different animal for 12 years, and then the cycle starts over again. This year, we get to honor the ox. So, as part of our lessons in pictographs, I'll show you how to write the word ox in Chinese. In ancient China, Chinese characters began with drawings. These kind of drawings are called pictograms. A pictogram or pictograph is a symbol which represents an object or concept by illustration. The earliest Chinese characters were carvings on animal bones and tortoise shells. Over time, as more and more people used the drawings to express words and ideas, the pictures changed and evolved into a more complex system of writing. Here are some examples of the early pictograms that were found on those carvings. This is the word for bird, and one of the earliest symbols for bird actually looks like a bird. But as you can see, over time, it slowly changed to the character that we know today for the word bird in Chinese. Similarly, this is a symbol for a turtle or a tortoise. As you can see, over time, it has changed into a character that doesn't quite look like a turtle, but this is what everyone recognizes as the word for turtle or tortoise now. Here is the symbol for fish. Our first pictogram of fish looks like an actual fish, but over time, again, like all the other characters, it has changed where it doesn't quite look like a fish, but this is now the symbol or character for the word fish in Chinese. And finally, For today's lesson, where we show you how to write the word ox or cow, you'll see that the picture that was carved into bone and tortoise shells looks a little bit like an ox. You can see his horns. And over time, they kept the horns up until more recently where he's just got one horn here. Instead of facing you, it's more of a picture of an ox turned to the side. For today's lesson, you're going to need a pencil and some paper. If you want, you can also try using a marker, or if you've got some paint and a paintbrush, you can use paint and a paintbrush too to write these characters. Today, I'll be using a special calligraphy paintbrush as well as some calligraphy ink. To write the Chinese character for the word ox or cow, we're going to start with one small stroke downward, a second stroke across, a third stroke across, and a fourth stroke down the middle. Start with our first stroke downward, then our second stroke across, our third stroke across, and then our fourth stroke downward. And that's what the word ox should look like when you write it with pencil. Next, we'll try writing the word ox with a marker. Again, our first stroke is a downward stroke. Our second stroke is straight across. Our third stroke is straight across. And our fourth stroke is straight down the middle, like that. We'll try it one more time, this time with our calligraphy ink. We'll dip our paint brush into our paint, and again, our first stroke is downward, our second stroke is across, our third stroke is across, and our fourth stroke is straight down the middle. And there you have it, the word ox. Thank you for joining me today and learning about pictograms and Chinese characters in honor of the Lunar New Year. All across the world, Vietnamese, Chinese, Korean, and Mongolian families will be celebrating the Year of the Ox, and we hope you'll join us. See you next time on STEAM Adventures.